Okay. Hi, Reach.
Hello.
So while we wait for our guest to join us, what I'm going to be doing is sharing as well. So if you have,
I am sharing away.
great.
I am
Now,
sharing
Mhm. Oh, you've got me on two devices. You have
No,
to switch it.
I'm gonna pause that. I'm gonna take the
Or mute
volume
it.
down on the
Mute
other one.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, we're good.
mute that. Hi, guys. We have a couple of people watching.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. I hope you're sharing. We have an amazing show today for you guys. I hope you're sharing so that many others can benefit from the conversation we're going to be having today. So please share, share, share. We'll give it a minute on start. So share, share, share. Thank you. So how are you feeling? You ready to impact and touch some lives tonight?
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready to meet the audience. I am ready to have a conversation. I am ready to just basically share value, share purpose, and impact quite a few lives. I believe in impacting not just one, many. So I think we are here today to impact a lot of lives and transform quite a few lives today.
I'm excited.
I am sharing to my audience. I am sharing to my page and all of that so we can increase our following. If you're watching, please make sure you share. Make sure you hit the share button. We need everyone to see this. We need everyone to be part of this.
Certainly, certainly. So please go ahead and share, and we'll see you we'll start at exactly 20:04. So please share.
Okay, I think I am good on my part. I am ready.
Great. I'm just going to do one last share and then we start. Great. Me too. So, oh, good. We have a few people here. Hi. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another episode of The Goretti Show. I'm really happy to have a few of you live. Thank you for sharing. So if you're watching, I hope you're sharing. If you're just joining us, please share. And don't forget to, if you're watching us via YouTube, don't forget to click on that subscribe button. I'm I'm going to be hip now and join the chorus to say click on that subscribe button. And if you are joining us on Facebook, please like our Facebook page, The Goretti Experience. And you know what we do here on The Goretti Show? On The Goretti Show is a platform where we hear your story. We let you tell us your story. Let your great story happen on here at The Goretti Show. Okay, for we are all but stories to be told and retold. And in doing so, what we do is we spare our souls the agony of lives misunderstood and of stories untold. So if you've got your story, this is the platform to share your story, to impact, to inspire, to motivate, to encourage. This is the platform for you. So welcome to the Goretti Show. And we have an amazing guest for tonight. You know, we bring you only the best. The people who have rich life experiences that can truly create the impacts that we all are searching for in our lives. So welcome to the show, Rich. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Goretti, for having me. I am excited.
I am too, because I've been watching you over I think we only got connected late last year, didn't we?
That
And
is true.
yeah, and I've just been honestly very inspired by you, because it's not every day that, oh, hi Sherry, hi Erica, welcome to the show. Leave a comment if you're watching. Leave a comment, let's know where you're watching from, and let's show Rich some love. And so I was saying that we only connected on Facebook a few late last year, and in the few months that I've followed you, your life continues to inspire me. And I think for me personally, the word impact has made a big impact in me, because it's not every day that we come across a Cameroonian philanthropist. I don't know many. I think you're the only one that I really know who is not just talking the talk, but it's actually walking the walk. And I see your hustle. Your hustle is very evident. You know, what do you call it, your business? Because you flip houses. That's the term they use, right?
Yeah.
What's the right word for it?
So that's my other company, Eagle's Nest Holdings, and we basically renovate homes from very unpleasant conditions and make them gold, and then sell them, make money. And I always live by this phrase: make a lot of money, give a lot away. Right. So that, again, when we talk about purpose, there's purpose in me doing that because it ties into the purpose of making life better for other people.
And you, I mean, you do it brilliantly. And I'm not saying that to flatter you, but if you are watching this show today and you want to know more about this man, just go on his Facebook and Instagram handles at Rich Aqua. Am I pronouncing it right? Aqua, right?
Yep. Aqua. Let's just say Aqua.
Let's not whitemanize it. So
exactly.
is Rich Aqua, and he's doing fantastic work. So follow him if you can, get to know about him. But Rich, your story on the Goretti Show, it's story, right? We want your great story to happen on the Goretti Show. What's the story, Rich? I mean, as a young immigrant, because I know you haven't lived there all your life, because you still have a pretty decent Cameroonian accent. Okay, so I know that you immigrated at some point, like so many of us. But how'd you get from a young immigrant to doing relatively well, like you're doing with Eagle Nest Holdings, on the would I call it on the renovation side?
Yes.
How did that happen for you?
Well, so just put things in context. I have been in the U.S. Going now about 25 years. But I left Cameroon when I was just 13 years old. So I've spent more of my life in the U.S. than I have in Cameroon. So, but no matter how much I have been in America, Cameroon is always home. The Kumba boy still lives in me. You know, I'm always Kumba for life, no matter what.
But shout out to all our Kumba watching.
Cape Town, yeah. But when you talk about the story and my, where I am today, I would say life happens. When life happens, you have one or two choices: to either fold, to either give up, or you fight your way back up.
That's
and
right.
One of my, I have multiple ventures that I'm engaged in. But with Eagle's Nest, if you notice Eagle's Nest, our tagline with Eagle's Nest says "Rise Above." And rise above for me is a message to myself that said, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what, if you study the bird, the eagle uses the storm as an opportunity to rise above and go higher, regardless of the storms that they are facing. So my storm in America came in 2008 when I literally was on the verge of homelessness, sleeping in my car for about 3 months, and unemployed, no money. Literally, all I had in my pocket was $200 to feed myself. And with that $200, I started my first company, which is still, 13 years old now, which is my cleaning company. I started cleaning people's houses to make ends meet in America. And, from there, it's funny, like inside that same year, 3 different companies were birthed. The cleaning company was birthed. My other company, which is we talked about being paused. My other company called All Is Well. If you see that, if you follow me, all my hashtags I ended with All Is Well. So All Is Well was born then, and then the nonprofit Generosity Global was born in that same season. And so with that, It was simply a thing of fighting for my life to ensure that I did not become a statistic, to ensure that I did not become a homeless person who had so much potential but gave up because life became too much for him.
Wow.
So you fast forward and you look at the journey of my life and you look at where I am today with all that I'm doing. Everything is connected to that one moment where there was adversity. When I talk about adversity, serious adversity.
Yeah.
But ever since then, I feel like I've been fighting for my life. Ever since then, I feel like I've been fighting to rise above and be in a place where I can impact many people.
Rich, I want you to take me back to that, to the moment where you decided that I'm getting out of this car and I'm going to start cleaning houses. What messages did you tell yourself? How did you motivate yourself? How do you come from the lowest of lows to literally, how do you pick yourself up, even if it's just by the strap of whatever hope you were holding on to? What message were you telling yourself? What were you saying to yourself?
My message to myself was all is well. That was my message. All is well. Every day for me was like, look beyond what you're going through. Look beyond your circumstances. Look beyond the adversity. All is well. It may not look perfect, but all is well. Search deep down within. Find that thing that moves you and keep pushing, keep going. And so it was all is well. Keep going. Never give up. No matter how bad you thought, that I thought it was for me, I always knew it was worse. I mean,
it could be worse.
For crying out loud, we come from a country and most of the villages where people have it worse than we do, even in our worst circumstances here in the Western world, in America, in the UK, wherever it is. Like, I always make fun. Like, some people always make fun, like, send me to prison in America, I'll be okay, because at least you have comfortable beds, you have toilets, you have all those things. The life is not as bad. So we have to take a step back. We have to take note, and we have to, understand our perspective and see what we are dealing with. And for me, as bad as it was and as bad as it looked, and sometimes it was because of pride, and it was because of the fear of judgment of others. So you see, when we fall in life, especially coming from the place that we come from, coming from the communities that we come from, where there's so much external pressure from our parents, from our community, from our village members, name it, right? When you are supposed to be a doctor and you don't make it to become a doctor, and you find yourself cleaning people's houses, you have this thing of pride and shame that you have failed. And so for me, it was overcoming that mentally to say, no, this is not anybody else's life. This is my life. Because the truth of the matter is, when you're going through your stuff, when you're going through your mess, nobody is in there with you. You're the one that's dealing with it. So how dare somebody else tells me that this is how I'm supposed to live my life? So it was a thing, and it was a defining moment for me to say, take control of your life. This is your life, and only you can be the author of your book. Only you can be the producer of that movie. And that's how it's been since 2008.
And I love that, because you saying that reminds me, there's a Nigerian saying where they say, you no shame where your money they come from, right? No shame, because I find that with us, we are very prideful people, Cameroonians, and there are some career paths that some of us choose that others will look down upon. But then, as long as your money is coming from there, you have to have the Nigerian hustle. You not feel shame. You can't be ashamed of where your money, your bread is coming from.
Never. I mean, let me set some people free right now.
Please do.
Okay. Let me set some people free. Forget about what uncle, auntie, mommy, anybody is telling you to be. Follow what's inside your heart. If you're in Cameroon or wherever you are, I see some few entrepreneurs in Cameroon who are essentially doing that, where we are no longer waiting for the prestigious job that is going to give us a Mercedes that's going to take us to work. You're going to have a driver. Or no, gone are those days. You have to create your own opportunity, right? To that Nigerian saying, do not no fear with some money to come out. At the end of the day, money is money, and the only color that money has is green. So you respect green, you respect your hustle, you respect your grind. I guarantee you, you're going to win, regardless of what it is that you choose to do. As long as you keep it clean, as long as you keep it legal, as long as you keep it professional, right? Those for me are the things. I don't care what you do. All that matters to me is you are giving it your best. You are giving it your all. You are, you know, if not changing your own life, not only your life, but if you're creating job opportunities, like say for me as a business, you know, cleaning business owner, I have 15 employees that are working for me that I have created and employed. And that is a legitimate business. How dare somebody else come and say that that is not good enough? What? Are you kidding me? Never.
So this is you started your cleaning business, and it's growing. What lessons did you learn at that time during that cleaning business before you became Rich, who got into Eagle Nest, who created Eagle Nest Holdings, and it started picking up? In that time, when you look back on it, what lessons did you learn for self?
There is no substitute for hard work. There is never any substitute for hard work.
And we hear this all the time, right? So what how can you say it differently? Because we hear this all the time. There is no substitute for hard work.
You have.
Oh dear, is that me? Rich is frozen. I hope he comes back. Hi guys, welcome. Hi Ivan. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm really glad you're here. We're having some technical issues. By the way, Rich is joining us from the US, so I hope that it picks up. And Rich, if you can hear me, you may want to try logging out and logging back in. But for those of you who are here, please stay tuned, because tonight we're really talking about finding purpose. You know, if you're like me, you believe that we are all born with purpose, right? And there's some questions that we want to ask about that, because we hear it all the time. We're born with purpose. Is purpose the one thing that we find for the rest of our lives, or is it something, or do we discover different purposes along the way? Or, you know, can we have many different, let me use the word calling, right? If you get that better, can we have many different callings for our lives, or is it one thing? And yeah, and if you're watching this, let me know in the comments. Have you found your purpose? Have you found or for now, have you found your purpose for life at this point? And what is it? And what have you learned? And how did you get there? So please share it in the comments, and I'm just going to read it out. But yeah, Rich should be joining us back shortly. So while you're here, if you've been enjoying it so far, I'll urge you to please share the show, so we invite a few more people to come and join us, because I think that what we're talking about tonight is really, really, really going to help someone, motivate someone to look within and find that which they think is their purpose. So please share. And if you have found your purpose, what steps did you take? How did you find your purpose? And did it change the way you live your life at all? And let us know, please. Don't be a stranger. Share it in the comments. And Rich is back. Hi.
Goranti, my apologies. I think my hotspot, because I am in one of the properties I renovated, so the internet is not hooked up there, and my hotspot probably gave up on me. So I apologize. So right now I am on mobile mode on my phone, and it's okay because I'm ignoring every call. You have me next, the next, what is it, 40 minutes. So let's sorry guys.
That's okay. They stayed. So that's amazing, because that tells me they were getting value from the conversation. And that's what we really want. Use your story to add value to people's lives. So we were talking, I was asking you what lessons you learned, and you were talking about how much there's no substitute for hard work. So, and I was saying, we hear that all the time, but for you, how do you think you can tell it differently? Because we hear that all the time.
Yeah.
There's no, yeah.
I mean, it's a thing of simply, taking your two hands every day and using them as a tool, taking your mind, the sacrifice that it entails, the lack of, not necessarily depriving yourself of sleep on purpose, but realizing that when you shift into an entrepreneur mindset, there is no such thing as an 8-hour workday or whatever it is. You
Mhm.
know, it is not over until the job is done. And sometimes the job may entail 20 hours. Okay.
That's right.
It,
Yeah.
it, it entails you to keep going until the point of satisfaction. Satisfaction either coming from yourself, or if you're serving a client, that client is satisfied. So
And
that was one of the things that I learned in that. And then the other thing was, stay humble, humility.
yeah.
um for me, that's one of the greatest things that you can have as an individual, your character. um One thing that pisses me off is people who attain a certain level of achievements or whatever, and they become so arrogant regardless of what you attain. I'm like, no. People who know me very well, we're talking about Tabby and stuff, all the other things. Like, I'm the type of guy who is, I will be in a place and I see somebody who is homeless and I will have a conversation with them, regardless of your social class, your status. Because
Mm,
one thing that I learned is, no matter where you are on this spectrum of life, we're all human beings. So
that's
how
right.
dare I make myself better than you just because I have attained some level of, achievement or
Or
prosperity?
just because your circumstance, or just because your circumstances are better.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, we come from societies and communities where we teach people that because we have this and we are better than that. No, nobody's better. Okay, so I mean, quite a few things were learned in that season. Positivity, for me, like, my mindset is always can. There is no can't. My
Oh,
mindset is always it will happen. There
yeah.
is no if it's going to happen. It will happen. So I am very intentional about what I put in my mind. I am very intentional about what I allow in to take root, because the seed that you plant inside is eventually going to take root. And once a seed takes root, it grows and it yields fruits. The
Yeah.
question now is, what type of fruit is it going to yield? See, I like to yield good fruits and positive fruits, and fruits that are impactful.
Great. Now, let's talk to me about intention, because I mean they are all, just if you type intention in on your on Google, there will be I mean so many, you'll get so many, right, so many, what's the word for it? You get so many hits
Hits.
on intention. But what is intention for you? And when you say that you're intentional about what you feed to yourself, what does it mean to live intentionally for you?
Basically, commit to what you said you're going to commit to.
Mhm,
You have to make a commitment, whatever
mhm.
that thing is, right?
So if I
I,
said,
I
I'm going to put on 10 kilograms, because I'm done talking about losing weight. Commit, right? Commit to eating macabre, right?
Yes, exactly, right?
Hmm.
This show happened today because you and I made it so. We intended for it to make. You reached out. I told you what my schedule looked like. We made a commitment and we intended through follow up,
Yeah.
right? We were very active. Intentions requires an active participation,
Hmm.
either with yourself or another party.
Hmm.
There is no, intention requires action, right?
That's it. I like that.
Yeah.
Intention requires action.
If there is no action, that which you dream of does not happen. That which you hope for does not happen. We
Yeah.
can talk about it every day, but if you do not take action, I'm sorry, nothing will happen.
It remains just that, a dream. So this young man who was at one point in his life homeless and living in his car, fast forward a few years and we have Generosity Global. How do you go from flipping houses, because this is what you do, isn't it? You take a house from this
I'm
state.
right now, the one that you just showed.
Is this where you're sitting? Oh my
Not
goodness.
this one is going to be ready next week, but the previous one, This is the back. Yeah, this is where I'm sitting in right now. Actually, the front window that's the front window right there, so you can't see it. So I'm sitting in the house right now.
That's a beautiful house.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll give the audience a tour if you want.
Please do. We'll do it at some point. But then,
Awesome.
so how do you go from there to Generosity Global, to providing water?
So remember that when I told you in 2008 when my life took a tumble,
Yeah.
and I was basically trying my best to make ends meet to survive. One of the things that I did was to get an overnight job, and that overnight job was being a valet to park cars. I was parking people's cars, still trying to get the cleaning business off the ground, and
Mm-hmm.
no money there. But at that nighttime, across the street from where I was working were homeless men and women who were sleeping on the streets. And
Mm-hmm.
so in the wee hour of the morning, like 1 a.m. when I had my break, I will go there and just have a conversation with those men, those women. Just to basically, I was going through my own hard time, but then again, perspective reminded me that they have it worse. So
Yep.
just through conversation, that's when the name of the organization was initially A Friend to the Homeless, right? I saw myself as that friend to a homeless person. And we started out, for the first few years with that name as a grassroots organization. And then it wasn't until when I went to Cameroon and I had an experience at a hospital at a clinic, where a young girl basically died from drinking contaminated water, diarrhea, which was a result from drinking contaminated water. And from there, I realized that A Friend to the Homeless, which we're focused on serving people in the homeless community, did not quite translate on a global scale.
That's
And, but then I was like, everything that we do is driven by the power of generosity. And so the name became Generosity, but we wanted to be global, so
global.
that way we can incorporate clean water initiative like that. That moment in Cameroon inspired me. When I was flying back to the US, I did research on the water crisis globally, and it's a still is a massive problem. And even within sub-Saharan Africa, we have millions and millions of people who are without clean drinking water. So
That's
that was the inspiration behind how we jumped into water projects. And I would say almost 6 years in since we started the water projects in Cameroon. you know
mm-hmm.
we've done about 20 wells in the far north region, three in
Wow.
southwest, in Kumba, and have given clean water to over 40,000 people. And
Wow.
we are planning to do so much more in the coming years.
That's I mean, that's amazing, Rich.
Thank
Wow.
thank you.
Just from wow. I mean, I don't know. That's why I say you're one of the few, I think the only philanthropist like outright who is doing it on a really large scale. And honestly, you really, you know, inspire me in so many ways. But so is this so tell us a bit more about the ball, because Generosity Global is formed and you have done all these amazing things. How do you fund Generosity Global?
Yeah, so I mean, public donations drive us, and one of our core values as an organization is transparency. Because I always tell everybody my most important asset is my reputation. My most
Mhm,
important asset is my integrity, is my character. And
mhm.
so that flows through the organization, that everything that we do, the reason why you may have learned more about me is because I try to leave everything that I do on social, so that way people can see evidence of,
Yeah,
again, going back to the intention and committing to what you said you're going to commit.
yeah,
It's about making sure that you follow through with that which you tell people, especially especially when people give you their hard-earned
Mhm.
money.
That's right.
Right? There's this
Mhm.
big thing about trust. There's this big thing about earning and keeping people's trust that unfortunately and you know we've had to fight through this as an organization. Unfortunately, there are people out there who misuse the umbrella of an NGO or whatever for
Yep.
self gain and self profit. So when another NGO presents itself, you are initially doubtful, you are initially skeptical, you don't know
Yep.
if you can trust them, if they can give them their money. But I tell every NGO starter, every NGO person to basically, um, you know, challenge that by, living truthfully to what they say they're going to do. And that will require for you to go deep and reveal that which you're doing, to reveal to the public so that way
Yeah.
people can come in and see and connect with that which you're doing.
That's, I mean, I love that transparency, because so too many people have given NGOs a bad name. But we like Bell says, trust while running NGOs is a very important aspect. So but with Generosity Global, you have been able to, I mean, it's transparent. Guys, you just need to go on Rich's page. Like I said, it's Rich Aqua. If you Rich Aqua,
Aqua,
Facebook and Instagram is Rich Aqua.
aqua.
He's Rich Aqua. So you can find their pictures, everything is on his page, if you're thinking of. And so tell us a bit about the mission board,
Yeah,
because and the
yeah.
reason
So
why I'm
the answer to,
smiling.
you say, how do we get funded from public? But also every year, September, the last weekend in September, we have an amazing blue carpet event where people are dressed up. They look good. They look swanky. They look just beautiful and tasteful. High energy, high level. And all this is a way for us to raise funds, raise money for water projects, and not just water project. We also now have incorporated women hygiene programs with dealing with menstruation and menstrual hygiene for women. And so because there's a very deep correlation between water and women, and
That's right.
so we are now intertwining both of those. But all the funds, the majority of the funds that is required to take out these projects comes from the Mission Ball event, where people dress up and we say party for a great cause, but it's a cause that you will see how 100% of your money goes to work. And so we have one. And for our US audience who's listening, um, especially if you are in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, we have our Mission Ball this weekend, Saturday, September 25th.
Yeah.
I think we only have about 25 tickets left to sell. And so if you plan to come, go grab a ticket. But if you cannot make it, please sow a seed, go and make a donation, buy a ticket. Even if you can't make it, buy a ticket. You can go on our website. There's proof of everything that we have done. There's proof of our annual, what do they call it? Your audit to tell you that we are using the money for what we say we are using. I don't need
Yeah.
the money,
And the link, you don't need the money. You don't need the money.
I
But
need a
the
little.
links,
I need a little bit more, but not from the NGO
not
side.
from the NGO,
Yeah.
but the link is also in the description on the show. So if you just go ahead, you see the two links to Mission Bowl and to Generosity Global. So click on it and then just get to know what Rich and his team, your beautiful wife, and the rest of your team are really doing amazing work via Generosity Global. So in this journey so far, Rich, I mean, you've come from somebody who used to sleep in his car, and I'm so glad that you shared that story with us. And I don't know, I'm so glad that you own that part of your story,
Yes.
and are open about it, because so many of us have that kind of story in our past, and we are ashamed, to open up. But like I said, on the Goretti Show, we believe so much that your story is your power. So share your story. You may inspire somebody, but you've come from there, Rich. You've come from there, and you are doing amazing for yourself. So I mean, I would call you successful in what you do, and I know you're going to want to go onto higher heights. But when you look back on your journey, and you have, and if you have the opportunity to talk to somebody who is there where you once were, what and I know you said that earlier, but what would you tell, when you look at the whole picture, what would you tell the person? How would you get them to keep hope?
Yeah. Know who you are. Own your identity. And that identity comes from sometimes your circumstances or the situation that you find yourself in. Let go of the shame or guilt. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you've been through, whatever it is that you are facing that may have you hostage because you don't want others to find out per se, because a lot of us are being held hostage because we are so ashamed of what others are going to say about us, of what others are going to think of us, of what the judgment that is going to be passed. Let all of that go. Let that go and go fully in the direction that you intend to go.
Yeah.
Because when you free your, there's nothing like owning your story, and there's nothing like actually, living out your story, because it is freeing, it is liberating. I always say you cannot make fun of me because I was homeless. I already own it. Why am I going to be ashamed now?
Exactly.
You cannot go to the Sequoia and start saying, that boy no big house. What the? I already know that.
And you've moved past that.
Yeah, I moved past that. But
yeah,
that is a point. That is such a powerful point in our lives where a lot of us want to cancel that out. But the reality of it is that is part of you. That is part of your journey. That journey is never going to be smooth. The journey is never going to be a straight line. The journey is never going to be like A to Z. It is going to be full of thorns. And too many of times, many of us want to just, again, social media is so funny and so finicky. Everybody's sharing their highlight reels, their successes, all the good things that are happening. But how many people are really sharing their pains, right? I want to, when I interview people, I'm not interviewing and tell me about your success, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I want to know what, when you failed and how did you overcome that failure?
Yeah. And how did you overcome that failure? In your case, brings us now to purpose. How did you find your purpose? Like, I know how this was birthed, but when you birthed this, you said it was because you befriended the homeless, and you thought to give back. But at what points did you recognize for self that, you know what, this is my purpose?
It kept calling me back. It kept calling me back over and over. And, purpose, let me say this. There's this innate passion inside of all of us to do something. And ever since a little boy growing up in K-Town, we always looked at, when we saw television and we saw the people over there, like we said, Ethiopia, they are suffering. Not even though that was more of a wealthy country than us, but those pictures, right? There was always that desire inside of me to want to help people, to want to make sure that I can help to improve the quality of life for others. And so when I fast forward to when I was going through my storm, when I was going through my moments, when I was going through that, I was reconnected to that early childhood desire, even though throughout the years, I've always done something in service of humanity. But right then and then, there was something that clicked for me, that this is what I want to do was to
Mhm.
use whatever I have to make life better. For first, it was just the homeless people.
Mhm.
But then again, when I look back last or 2 weekends ago, when Generosity started, my wife and I, the first night when Generosity Global started activity was Christmas Eve 2010, when we went
Wow.
out to the streets in Baltimore where we were at that point,
Mhm.
took food and gave to the homeless people. And since that very first month, in now going on about 11 years, 2 weekends ago marked, I believe, 137 or 35 consecutive months
Wow.
of feeding the homeless in America. So it kept calling us back
Calling you.
over and over and over, and we were joyous. Our hearts were illuminated when we went out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying this to say it's easy by any shot of the mean. It required work, it required preparation, it required planning, it required being intentional. And so your purpose will require you to be intentional about that which you want to do.
That's right.
Your
Yeah.
purpose will require you for you to basically get up every day and go after it full force. There will be some days that you don't feel like it. That's okay. Trust me, there's some days that I just want to sleep. But then after you have slept, your purpose will wake you up. I don't set an alarm. I don't mean set an alarm anymore.
Wow.
Every every day my body automatically is up at a certain time.
Because Oprah will say you're living in alignment with your purpose.
That's a key word, alignment with your purpose. Very key word.
Yeah.
And so every day when I wake up, my life has purpose. The things that I do has purpose. The people that I engage with, there is purpose in our conversation right now.
Oh, definitely.
There's purpose
Yes.
in conversation right now.
Okay, but what would you say to somebody that thinks would say that, I don't think I have purpose. I've not, or I haven't found my purpose yet. Yeah, they may say everyone's born with a purpose, but I haven't found mine yet.
You know, it's one of those things that I always, for me, it's like when you find it, you will know. I can't tell you what your purpose is, but when you find it, you will know, because it's going to keep calling you back. It's going to keep requiring you to want to do more than you normally would want to do.
Mm,
It's something that your passion will lead you to. Like, passion gives birth to purpose. Even though purpose in itself is already there, but passion will lead you to
mm,
discovering purpose, because you're so good at it. Normally you can do it without without any pay. And most of the time, I say this, like, what I do, people that know me and my circle know that Rich Accord does not need any external motivation to do anything that I do. I don't need a crowd to cheer me on, to validate me, to say good job. All those things are cool. But for me, what I'm able to do comes from my heart.
mm.
Everything that I do is fueled from within. Everything that I do is fueled from a place of, you know, decency to humanity. Like, what would I want if I was in that position?
That's such a beautiful life. I mean, obviously, no one's life is perfect, but I can imagine what it would mean to live every day live the life that I believe that I was born to live. That is such a fulfilling life.
Self-actualization, right? You actually become your actual, because, like, you become your actual spiritual self. We are spiritual beings.
Mm,
And once you start living on a level where you are tapping into purpose and the deeper meanings of life,
hmm
you are operating now on a spiritual standpoint, from a spiritual realm, where the things that your heart desire to do, the universe is in alignment with you now. God, whatever it is that you worship, you are in alignment, and those things as you command, but you don't just speak it, you work for them, they manifest themselves.
Yeah.
So you have to speak it, you have to work in it, and
Yeah.
you have to sow, you have to water it and give it time for it to manifest.
That's right.
You know,
Otherwise, it remains a dream.
yeah, the generosity global that people see today is not what it used to be. I give people this. You know, I always have this conversation. Our first Mission Ball event 8 years ago, 30 people showed up, and we raised about $3,200, which for us was like, oh my God, that's a lot of money.
Mm.
2019, which was our last in-person event before we went virtual last year. In 2019, Mission Ball 2019, we
Yeah.
had nearly 400, well, actually 425 people show up, and we raised $80,000.
Wow.
Right. And then last year, our virtual year, our very first, nobody showed up because everything was virtual, but we raised $110,000.
That's amazing. That's why you were you told me you were in India, right? Last week.
Yes, yes. I just returned from a trip from India. So last year our campaign was to basically we modeled the fundraising campaign under the hashtag Buy the Rig, the
Mm.
rig, because the past 5 years we've been doing quite okay. We will raise money here in America. We will raise money from Mission Ball, and then we will take the money to Cameroon and then work with another company. They will drill the wells, and then before we know, we'll be out of money, but there's still a big need. It wasn't very sustainable in my opinion. So
Yeah.
the decision was made to, how about we raise the money, invest that money into purchasing our own water drilling rig.
Is
Now
that it? Is that
that
the ring?
that is not ours, but it's going to look very similar to that because it's being manufactured from scratch right now. So
Right.
with the ownership of our own drilling rig, now we can scale up our impact. We can move 10 times faster. We can drill much deeper and bring clean drink water to many more people in the regions that we are drilling in.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, you're doing such noble work. And honestly, I think I join. I speak for everyone else when I say that we're really proud of the work you're doing, because it's not every day that we see, somebody do it on such a scale. And again, and talking about scaling up, how do you go from raising $3,000 to raising $100,000? How do you go from then to that? Why do you think that you were able to attract these many more people now?
It ends up with consistency. We've been very consistent with what we are doing
And transparent.
and transparent with what we are doing. So when you do that, is the power of multiplication. One person trusts, they lead to other person, they bring other people in, but we keep doing the work and win people's hearts and wins people's connection to the work that we are doing. And I always say, not everybody is going to be for what we do. That's fine, right? I mean, for crying out, we have 7 million people, no, 7 billion people in this world, billion people in this world. There's
Right.
no way 7 billion people are going to connect with everything that I'm doing. That's okay. I don't need 7 billion people, but for the few chosen that God has allowed for them to see what we do, those are the people that I continually speak to. And then through them, we are able to amplify our connection. They're able to reach out to other people,
And they see their money put to work.
They see their money put to work, which is one of the key things, right?
Yeah.
Because, when it comes to, my hard-earned, dollars or euros or pounds, whichever the currency is, or francs, if it's Cameroon, I want to make sure that that money is being put to work the right way.
That's
Do
correct.
what you said you're going to do, and do it, and give me proof that you did it. And so
Yeah.
that's why we invest in we invest in the technology of quality photography, quality videography, because again, we want to tell the journey of that story.
That's right.
We put out, reports every time we go to the field that captures exactly what was done, how much money was used, where the money was allocated to, and all of that, because it means that much to people, and forget the people. It means that much to me because my name, my reputation, my character is always on the line. So for me, the one thing that I never want to stain is those things. So myself and my team, everybody knows that when we do this work, we are all connected to it. And we must always make sure that we leave the field clean. We bring the evidence to our supporters, and we continue to stay consistent to that which we committed to.
And it shows. It shows, isn't it, in the growth, in Generosity Global's growth. And that's why we're calling on you. Like he said, if you are in the States, there's still 25 tickets left to attend Generosity Global's Mission Ball.
Yes.
2021. And the details are on the flyer. And if you want to follow Rich, it's holding where at the Hampton Conference Center in Capitol Heights, Maryland. And if you cannot attend it, buy a ticket. The links to Generosity Global's website and Mission Ball are in the description. So just please buy a ticket and support this really noble cause, because you can see this man. I keep wanting to call you young man because I connect you to our friend, right? And to Tabi. Shout out to Tabi if you're watching.
Yeah.
So I keep wanting to call you young man. And by the way, Tabi is the Africa director of Generosity Global.
Shout out to Tabi. He's holding it down.
He's holding it down.
That they're doing.
That's amazing. So now that you have found purpose in Generosity Global, do you believe that purpose is static? Like you can have only one purpose in life, or do you think that you could have different callings?
I believe that you may have different things that you're passionate about. You may have different passions, but there's one true purpose, because your passions all lead to one thing. What is that why, right? And again, when you have duplicity, let me say multiplication of purpose, you become ineffective.
Right.
Your purpose for me is that one thing that, and let me not say that there may not be sub categories to your purpose, right? Because I'm not just a humanitarian that is impacting the world.
Yeah.
I'm a father, so that is purpose for me.
That's purpose, yeah.
Purpose, but everything is tied into the bigger picture. Like, how am I being the best father to my kids to show them how, how to become men, because I have 3 boys, how to become men of purpose. How am I being a husband to my wife? A husband to my wife, to basically make her whole, so that way she can tap into her purpose and be whole in doing and living life to the fullest capability that God has given her.
Yeah.
How can I be a brother to my brother or sister, to empower them to live life beyond just ordinary? How can I be a mentor to my employees, right? To guide and coach them and show them that there is life beyond just work. So purpose, there's all these connections, but at the end of it all, to me, and this is my humble opinion, your purpose allows for you to basically create life that is going to be of benefit of others.
I love that. I really like that. You're creating a life that will be of benefit of others. And if you can identify that in any way within you, listen to that calling, because like you said, and which I agree with you, It's a calling. It calls you, and it calls you repeatedly in very different ways. But you, if you listen, you will recognize that voice, the voice of God, I call it. and then you will be able to find your journey. Honestly, I'm so glad we've had this conversation. It's gone by so quickly, hasn't it?
When it's good.
Okay, so do you want to show us a tour of that house?
Sure. Let me see. I don't know if I can flip this camera around, but if not, I'm just gonna get myself off the screen. And nope, that's not it. I'm gonna get myself off the screen, and then I'm just gonna turn it this way. So, we come in from the front door, which is the front door here. Can you all see that?
Oh, that's beautiful.
So we come in, and I will send you some before pictures. So it's before and after pictures so you can see the transformation. So let me close this door. So, all right. And this is our living room area. The chair has been turned because I was sitting there. And then we walk in this way to our kitchen. Over here, let me turn on the lights. I'll come here. It has been staged so that way potential buyers can envision what the house is going to look like. And so that is our kitchen area. And then that is the living room area. And so I'll take you all upstairs real quick because I know we're short on time. So let's go upstairs and see. We're going up the stairs. I should have turned on the light, but I forgot. This is the light. And so this is our owner's bedroom. This is the master.
Oh, I remember this. I think you've got some pictures of the before on your page.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pictures of the before. And then over there's an electric fireplace. And right here will be like a big screen TV for them to put and hook up. It's ready. And then over here is our bathroom for the master bedroom. So it's included in the bedroom. You don't have to go too far. A nice shower and your tub. And then there are two other bedrooms up here. You know, we have one bedroom here, big size bedroom, and then another bedroom here over there. And then another bathroom for our bedrooms. And so,
where is this? Where is this built? Where is this house
this
located?
is in Baltimore. So this
in
is
Baltimore.
Baltimore. So a lot of my work, because I used to live in Baltimore, they're no longer in Baltimore, but I am not that far from Baltimore. But this is basically where we are able to get, any market, has its price points.
Yeah.
But we are still able to get houses below a certain amount, and which allows for us to profit really well if the numbers all work out well. So
So if you're watching this and you're looking for a mentor, if you want to get into that kind of business, I mean, if you're at stateside, hit up Rich and right. I mean,
I offer one-on-one mentorship for people who are looking to get into real estate. Also, we fund a lot of our projects through private investors. So if people they want to invest with me. I always say, instead of putting your money, leaving your money in the bank that does absolutely nothing for you inside the bank account, bring it to the Eagle's Nest. We are going to put it into our projects, and you will get a better return on that investment. So if you are in the U.S., if anywhere in the U.S. and anywhere in the world, as long as you can get money to me anyway, we will make sure that we steward your money well, keep you, again, everything. My foundation is always transparency. So we are keeping you transparent on everything that's happening with the projects. And then else, you get cashed out and everybody makes money.
That's brilliant, guys. That's brilliant. Isn't that brilliant? And this is how we build together as a community. So if you're watching this, and you've got, I mean, what's the minimum you take? What, five grand?
Our minimum is 3.5, so 3,500, so $3,500. That's the minimum investment, and then
Mm,
it scales up from there. So wherever it is, we just want to make sure that that number is comfortable for you to invest, and you make that decision. You have people who are doing this at the bare minimum. I have other
mhm.
who are doing north of 20,000. So again, goes back to the brand that we build with our reputation.
That's
And
right.
people have seen me, my life for the bulk of it has been very public, right? In terms of the things that I do, and what I choose to what I share, and what people have seen. And
Yeah,
seen that they have seen a man who is very determined, a man who is focused, a man who if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
that's great.
If I make a commitment that this is going to be done, it's going to be done. That's why if you notice with the rig, it has been promise made, promise kept. That
Promise kept.
that's
Promise
what
kept.
we've been trending under. We made a promise, and my word is my ultimate commitment to not just me but to you. So
Yeah,
promise made, promise kept. So at the end of the day, I will leave our audience and say, don't promise it if you cannot deliver. Don't talk too big. Don't overcommit, right? And because sometimes we overdo just because we want to impress the person on the other side. No, I don't have time to impress. So I have time to make sure that I can succeed, so that way
mhm,
my family can eat,
mhm,
so that way I can pay my bills, so that way I can create the lifestyle that I want for myself, not to compete
mhm,
with anybody. I do not compete with nobody.
mhm.
And I think that's a message for people as well. Whatever journey that you set out to do, whatever business that you set out to do, whatever that calling is for you, don't
Mhm.
do it because you want to compete with the next person.
Do it
Because
because
I will tell you this,
for free.
it, it is going to be very frustrating for you. It is going to be very rewarding for you, because when you make it a competition against somebody else and that person is really winning and you're not, you're going to quit.
That's right.
You're going to give up.
That's right.
So do it from the heart, do it with passion, do it because the world, not necessarily the world, but humanity and the people that God has placed in the turf of your existence are depending on you, because our lives are going to intersect some people at various stage.
Mhm.
Let's do it knowing that as I do, I'm not doing it just for me, but because there is going to be somebody someday that God is going to put across the turf of my existence that I need to help.
I love that.
And that's all I got for today.
Oh my gosh, you've given us quite a lot. But so thank you so much, Rich. It's been like your name, a very enriching conversation, and I'm really glad that you were able to make the time. And we're calling on you, if you haven't already, go on the website. It's in the what's it called? It's in the description.
Missionboard21.com. Missionboard21.com.
And that's it on the banner right there, and
Yeah.
just click on it and learn more about it, and then support in any little way that you can. It's for a really noble cause. And if you go on Rich's page, you will see the work that he's done. He's really he's water is life, right? and
Water.
that's what
Yes.
and that's what Rich is doing. He's giving life, and you can be part of
Well,
that journey.
let
Give
me say real,
life.
I am not doing it. We are doing it.
We are all doing it.
We are
Yeah,
all
but
doing
then it takes leadership. So your
it.
leadership, you
I,
guys
I,
are.
I am leading the ship.
That's right.
I am leading the ship. But Goretti, when I tell you that this does not happen because of the generosity of others, this does not happen because of, without the trust of others. So how dare, yes, I am humbled and I am grateful that people see me as this figure that is doing these things. But the reality of the fact is, it takes so many of us to come together to make it
So
happen.
let's be a part of Generosity Global.
That's why we
Okay.
say, that's why we say we are Generosity Global.
We are Generosity Global. And on that note, Rich, thank you so much. It's been amazing having you. And good luck. And all those who are going to attend this, make sure you send us some pictures.
It's going to be a party.
Because we are going to be on Facebook, like, oh, what's happening? And then make it trend. So set the hashtag so you guys, we do what we have to do and make it trend for you guys. But good luck. We thank you guys for all the work you're doing. And it's been an amazing we know I've had an amazing time talking to you, and I'm sure the audience has as well. So good luck, and I'll see you.
Cheers. Thank you all. Everybody have a great day. God bless. Keep going.
And you. Bye-bye. So I'm going to take you off. Thank you so much, guys. You guys have been amazing. I hope you've learned something today, because I personally have found this conversation, like I said, very enriching, and I hope you have too. And I hope it's motivated you to find your purpose or look into your life to see if you haven't found yours yet, but encourage you to listen to the calling, because the calling it's there. If you pay attention, you will hear it. And so that we can be one of the lucky few to live in alignment with the purpose that God has put us on this planet to live. So good luck. And if you're still here, show us some love. I mean, let's see some likes. I've seen only 9 people like this show. You see, only 9 people who have benefited from this show tonight. Let us thank you, Belle. Leave us some love, like, and send us some stars. Thank you so much. And if you're here on Saturday, so Mission Ball is happening in the US on Saturday. Meanwhile, in the UK on Saturday, we have a young man who came from the US, Martin Newsongs. I don't know if you guys have heard of Martin Newsongs, but he's amazing. He's the one I was listening to when the show started, listening to Cameroonian Princess. Have you heard that song? If you haven't, you should. So Martin is in the UK on Saturday, and the flyers will be on my page. So if you can come with me, because I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be looking all cute and camera ready. So come camera ready. Free drinks for the guests. It's a listening party, so you're invited. The tickets, the link is on Eventbrite, Martin Newsongs listening party. I'll put the link again on the page. So if you're in the UK, if you're in London, join me on Saturday. Let's party and let's boogie. But on that note, let's be generous. Generosity Global has taught us, it has encouraged me. I think this is, again, supporting Martin is part of that, isn't it? Part supporting the community in whatever little way we can and helping this boy on his journey. So if you can join us, and if you haven't listened already, I'll play it, but I'll play it to end the show, Cameroonian Princess. And meanwhile, if you're in the States, enjoy your time and Generosity Global, the Mission Ball 2021, and give generously. And for the rest of us, I'll see you on Wednesday next week. Bye-bye. Meanwhile, this is Martin.
Comme Nathalie Koa, une star comme Charlotte et Fana. Coucou, Bio. Elle chante comme Daphne. Je suis déjà vidéo. Très sexy comme Blanche, comme Bailey Blanc. Been to many places. I've seen so many faces. Bodies and sizes.
If you're like me, I'm the best chair dancer. A girl so fine. So I hope I'll see you on Saturday. If you're in London, let's party together. Martin Newsongs, check him out. And all the Cameroonian princesses who are watching this, thank you for watching. And all our princes, stay cool, and let's continue to change the world through our generosity. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Tu sais que mon amour est très joli comme Brenda Dia.